All right, so here's a nice exercise for you. We're going to create this boat, and we're going to use some new techniques for building this. So let's get started. I'm going to start a new canvas, and I'm going to grab a rectangle. I'm not going to measure this, but I'm using the proxy gentleman for scale. So I'm kind of make kind of a long, narrow rectangle, something like that. And I'm going to pull it up into space like that. Remember, I'm making kind of a boat shape. So I'm going to select him and get rid of him. And we're going to take this and turn it into a component. Then we're going to open it and carve into it. And as we carve into it, we will designate the boat area, and we're going to flip it and join it to itself. So we're going to draw one half. So one of the cool things about 3D applications is anything that's symmetrical, and a lot of things are symmetrical. You only need to draw one half, and then you can flip and join it to itself. So if you look around the room, wherever you happen to be, and you look at the objects in the room, I would hazard a guess that 90% of them are symmetrical, including our own bodies, right? So when they find Lucy, for example, and they find 40% of her bones, well, the femur on the other side would be exactly the same. So that's more a complete set than you might initially think, right? So what we're going to do is triple click to select the whole object, and we're going to right click, and we're going to make it a component. We're going to call it boat half. Right, so the idea of a component is that I can copy this architecture, I can reuse this architecture. I'm going to click create. So I've now turned this into a boat half. Now, I want to edit it, and to edit it now, I have to go inside of that component. So I'm going to double click. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the arc for the boat and pull the excess away. So I'm going to grab my 2-point arc, and I'm going to come about 3/4 of the way from the back and come to the point here at the beginning, and then I'm going to draw. Now I'm making sure that that arc is sitting on the surface of this shape, and make an arc kind of like that. That looks pretty good. Now, what I want to do is grab my pencil tool, and I want to cut off the back of the boat. So I'm going to kind of zoom in here. Let's move it up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to grab my pencil tool, and I'm going to come in and make a cut like that. And I'm going to erase that and make that one unit. Actually, let's do this first. Before we cut that away, let's pull this away. And then we will use the offset tool, and we're going to click on that surface and offset this like that, and then we will grab the pencil tool and draw from here all the way across to there, and we will erase this, and then there's a little excess on the top here. We'll come up, let's zoom in on that and erase that. We don't need that. And now what we're going to do is zoom out and look at our shape. And what I'm going to do is rotate it so I can see it inside. Grab my push-pull tool. And I'm going to push this down. Now, I don't want to snap it off because I want the boat to have a bottom. I'm going to push it down as far as I can, something like that. So there's my boat half. So now I'm going to click away, and I'm going to copy this. I'm going to select it. I'm going to grab my move tool. I'm going to hold down the control key. Remember, I always try to edit shapes. When I'm moving shapes, click on the corner to corner. So I'm going to click, I'm going to drag over while holding the control key. And then I'm going to right click on the shape and use the flip along command. And I just happen to know that it's the components red I want to flip on. And then with the move tool, I'm going to position it right on top of itself. So now I've got my boat shape for the most part. So I don't need to look at this right now. So I'm going to hide it. So I can right click and choose hide. Now, what's unfortunate is that they have the hide information in the right click, but the unhide is somewhere else. So we're going to now go into the component again. I grab my selection tool, double clicking. And what I want to do is trap the bottom of the boat with my selection tool. So this is a little tricky. I want to just trap the bottom of the boat like so. So I just clicked and trapped just the bottom. So it's all the architecture from here down. I'm gonna grab my scale tool and I want to scale it inwards by the center here. And then I want to grab the center here and drag that in, that grip, that center grip, and drag that in this way. And then grab the center grip in the front here and drag that in this way. And the more I drag it in, the sleeker the boat gets. The back probably is not going to be as sleek. And I can grab the push-pull tool and kind of push this. Oh, actually, I guess I'm stuck with that. So now I'm going to click away. And there's my shape. And what I want to do is unhide the other half. So I go to Edit, Unhide All. And there's my two boat halves. And that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. And now I grab my materials. I'm going to grab the wood and select the boat. And there's my boat shape. So that kind of gives you some more interesting ways to work with SketchUp. Let's stop here.